Each human, ever since they were young, has been exposed to various media. Books, toys, shows, radio broadcasts, and pictures are just some of the examples of these media, which have influenced who we are today. As we develop and times go on, so does the volume of information we consume through the mediums provided by our surroundings. Being the case for me, and I imagine for most people who we grew up in the 90s onward. I can also imagine that many people were also exposed, as I was, more to the world through the television and radio, where it enabled me to have the means to learn and to be entertained. Not only that, but we also have some trips to the shopping malls, right? When we were young. So there are also medias all around there. So like advertisements and pictures, images, you know. And moving on, our exposure to media was steady and digestible because it came in the right serving sizes that match our comprehension back then. However, this steadiness was disturbed by the introduction of smartphones, tablets included, and computers, in which we are given access to the internet. The internet is an overloaded mess of many media that provide visual and audible information as well as communication. People use the internet as a sandbox for many subjects, news, businesses, and entertainment. As a result, it became really popular among younger generations. With the internet came social media, which grew with time and with the purpose of having a positive use in our lives. Since media was free to be accessed by anyone who can acquire the key to exploring the cyberspace, there are also those who are using it for spreading chaos among the people in the internet, and that consequently affects those who are in the real world. These deviants online use the internet to convey insensitive criticisms, foul behavior, and false information to the masses to consume, which lead to many being offended, hurt, and tricked because of their lack of knowledge in how to deal with information online. This is why media and information literacy matters. Media and information literacy is a preventative measure, a lesson from having people take things for granted online. It encourages analysis, critical thinking, safety, and responsibility. MIL, Media and Information Literacy, teaches us to view, understand, and verify information as well as observe proper etiquette at home, in school, and while out and about. So, not only online, but offline as well. So, MIL. At home is where we start to be taught MIL by the adults around us, our parents, our uncles. These basics like reading and understanding signs, following instructions, don't go to dangerous places, don't watch anything bad, do not talk to or message strangers, and do not buy anything online are just some of these lessons that I personally experienced. So, going back to my continuing with this experience is that these lessons helped me prevent hearing or seeing things I shouldn't in the outside world while watching television and while on the internet. Next, at school, we learn about the more online side of MIL, being that social media has become even more popular and accessible in recent times. Here, we are taught to have basic knowledge of terminologies used on the internet. We are also taught proper etiquette in dealing with our personal information and how to interact with each other both online and offline. School also gives emphasis on how to spot messages, false information, and negativity online through analysis and critical thinking, as well as the laws that surround online use. The effects of media are also discussed at school, which gives us an understanding of how things that we see all day, like advertisements, images, memes, influencers, and the news, affect our beings. It is also where we are taught many other things that relate to it, technicalities and all that. MIL at home and at school are what establishes our formation as critical digital natives. Outside these previous domains is where we practice what we learned next, both in the real world and online. When we browse through forums, image boards, broadcasting sites, shops, restaurants, and when we're in the town. So basically, MIL is something that equips you with the right tools, knowledge, and understanding of what to expect, what you can get, what information you can understand from something. Like all these activities are where my MIL skills are mostly used because I encounter online media every day. This caused me to be suspicious when I'm searching for information online. The practices I learned also caused me to remind my family to never share videos that show content that results in fear because my grandmother is unfortunately uninformed of the authenticity of these videos or of these posts. I am also keen on avoiding the subjects that online that lead to arguments like gender, religion, and politics because I don't want anyone to be disgruntled by what I have to say about it. So I'd rather stay away from it. Furthermore, I also post videos of my projects, personal content, and comments on YouTube and use the chat feature on Twitch whenever I'm watching live streams. Another is because I use the internet for research and as an aid in studying. All in all, I would say that my digital footprint is large yet remains somewhat safe. In terms of how I act safely online. Related to my previous response, I would say that I myself create a positive impact online in how I use my media and information literacy skills. I would say so because I never show my passwords, disclose any of my other accounts and personal data, and only give access to websites that are verified and trusted. I always strive to play it safe online when commenting, posting, sharing, and when generally surfing the web. I make sure that my malware defender is active all the time, and I make sure that everything that I download online will be or are scanned. So it would be I would be double sure that I am not downloading any viruses or any worms in my system. Anyway, moving on, additionally, I strive to have a good behavior online and respect the views of others and share things that do not degrade or insult anyone, which helps keep the internet a pleasant environment for all. For this, I believe I don't need to modify any of my practices because my acts online are still successful in keeping me safe and is still not failing me in respecting others or keeping keeping anyone from hating me or causing hate towards someone. So that's it. I think what I should improve on in my activities concerning media information literacy is my communication skills in conveying the correct practices to other people like my family and my friends. I say this because I believe my practices are already effective, which gives me the right to say to people of the practices that made me responsible online. Although I am confident about my abilities, I do believe that another thing that I need to improve is my me being analytic when it comes to media online. I am currently working on learning more about video content creation since I noticed that in recent times it has become more of a part of my life. And I also recognize its importance, its power, and effectiveness in delivering what you want to convey or say to an audience. Especially at these times. Everything's become modernized. Everyone wants to consume media through a video format because it's easier to understand. It's visual. It's audible. It's engaging basically. So I really want to learn that. Some additional skills I want to learn is also adeptness in using word processors like Microsoft Word, and I also want to learn more about Excel, and lastly I want to learn about Photoshop because that would be really essential for me because I'm the type of person who likes to be creative with my outputs. So that would certainly add some fun in my outputs. That's why some of my titos and titas at CFA, they they might notice that my outputs are very graphic, if that's the word. If that's the correct word. So, yeah, that's all for me. For the last question, well, I believe that through practice, anyone's critical digital literacy skills would improve over time. Because, of course, it would improve, but with the proper supplement of lessons from those who are knowledgeable and adept in the environment. MIL, or and information literacy, is utilized in. So I believe this is the case because like any other skill, it is honed through time, through repetitive processes. Like example, you fry an egg, or you when you fry an egg, you break the shell first, right? So when you're frying it, you break it first, but sometimes you're not consistent with how you break the egg. So it would some of the shells will fall. If you crack it, it will not be cracked in half. Instead, the whole egg will crack, and it's going to be very annoying. But keep doing that, keep doing and doing that. You basically improve, and until there comes a time where the egg is cracked in half, like how you want it to be. There are no eggshells left. So that's basically my idea of why true practice it is these MIL skills will be developed. Of course, with the right teachers. Anyways, that's all I have with me today, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.